Hi everyone, Lisa and Dan here from Fireside Strategic. We are on a mission to help business leaders achieve great results through human-centered strategy. In the Fireside Chat series, we are showcasing how leaders are transcending the challenges of the coronavirus crisis, supporting the well-being of their people while keeping business running. Today, we're excited to chat with Lonny Ostrander, CEO of PuzzleHR. Lonny, thank you for joining us. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you, Lisa. A little bit about myself. I was in corporate America for around 27 years. About 3 years ago, I left the corporate world. I was a VP of sales and officer. I ran a large division of about 900 people in the PEO, ASO, and 401k industry. And I did that for quite a long period of time. And over the next couple of years, I did a lot of consulting, did a lot of relaxing, stayed off from airplanes for quite a period of time, which was kind of nice. And roughly about a year ago, started the process of getting PuzzleHR off the ground. So that's kind of my background up to PuzzleHR. If you'd like to know a little bit about PuzzleHR, I can go into that.
Yes, please tell us a little bit about PuzzleHR.
Awesome. Well, PuzzleHR was an idea of myself and my partner, Chris Timmel, you met. And we had a great concept. We love the industry, the HR industry, and we saw that there was a space in that HR industry that really wasn't being attended to. So you have large companies like Aon and Merck that are in the industry that tend to service larger clients. So they're looking for the large clients. And then you have a lot in the industry that are focused primarily on maybe ASO, which is a kind of a light product, which most payroll companies seem to offer. And it's light HR, usually heavy on technology. And we saw that there was a great opportunity to actually not focus on technology, focus on humans and human skills. And those HR professionals, we would put them in their offices and help them with complex issues, detailed issues, and we replace technology with humans. So it's kind of counterproductive for what many companies are heading towards more technology, but we're finding, small to mid-sized companies in that under 500 employee range maybe don't know how to use the technology that well, and we can help them with that technology. We can help them to handle a lot of their complex HR needs, and that's kind of the emphasis of PuzzleHR and how we got started.
And so just so I'm completely clear here, when you talk about their complex HR needs, you're not just talking about, let's call them workplace conflict, grievances, those sorts of problems. Are you talking about those as well as payroll and some of the more technical aspects of HR? Are you talking about both?
Yeah, great, good question. So when you look at more complex HR, that would include the basic HR things like simple calls on what you can and can't do, wage and hour, compliance-related issues. Mm-hmm. We try to take it a step or two further. We'll actually become the managed payroll provider inside that. So they have a payroll provider, but we will actually, if they want to offload that to us, we would actually do that for them. We will actually hire their employees for them. We will fire their employees for them. Okay. We've been helping currently with furloughing some of our clients' employees and helping the employees with things like unemployment, things like that. So we get into that work in fairly good detail.
Makes total sense.
And you guys have grown pretty quickly over the last, ever since you founded the company 3 years ago. Could you tell us a little bit about your growth?
Yeah, so we started just over a year ago, and the growth has been quite surprising for us. In the beginning, we started off with about 10 employees, so we have 25 now across the United States, from California to Boston, across the southern tier, from Southern Cal to Florida. So we've got the entire United States covered.
Incredible growth, and it's a remote team.
So yeah, we built it. So we built it from the beginning to be a virtual company. that doesn't mean we did, well, not right now, but we do go out to our clients' offices. We do sell many times in the clients' offices, primarily service out in the clients' offices with the remote coming from Tampa. But right now, everything is virtual. We've been selling and servicing via Zoom calls, just like this one, and haven't really missed a beat because we were kind of prepared that way. We launched the company that way. We started all the training actually for all the service people, sales people, all virtually. So they're all accomplished at getting on and setting up calls and making sure that things can be done that way, and haven't really missed a beat.
And when you say haven't missed a beat, is that including this very challenging moments for so many businesses of the coronavirus crisis?
It's changed our business, but there's a need out there for information for not only our clients but prospects. Mm-hmm. And being in the HR field, we're able to provide people with business owners and others. They have a need for information and want to know how to navigate the landscape that's changing daily, the legislation that's changing daily. And so we help them with that. So that's part of what our job is as a outsourced human resource company.
Makes total sense because so many unanticipated challenges that wouldn't occur in normal times are occurring now. And so people really have to adjust. And one of the most important areas where they need to adjust is HR.
Yeah, by all means. So it was interesting as we began to get into this crisis and deal with the complexities that it had. I think people were in shock at first, and now they seem to be coming out of the days going, at some point this is going to end. Then what do I do with my business? And that's precipitated a significant amount of business and calls for us that is mutually beneficial. We're helping them, and obviously they're helping us with becoming clients.
Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. And we'd love a little later to dig into how you're helping customers in even more detail, but also curious to learn about what's happening internally at the company. How would you say that your culture has changed or, the Corona situation has impacted internally what's happening at PuzzleHR?
Yeah, it's interesting. So I've been a big believer in, and maybe it dates me a little bit, so I'm sorry, but I've been a big believer in the Ken Blanchard model of situational leadership.
Yeah,
I love that. I think it still works today with most things. Also, I'm a John Maxwell fan.
okay.
And so when I look at this and I say, what's the situation that's presented us, and what's the impact that it has on our employees, what's the impact that it has on our clients? It's pretty similar. It's about, I think, building the relationship first and kind of the business and the company second.
Yes.
Because, individually it is, it's crazy. We'll be on calls, and if you would have went back 6 months ago and if somebody's kid ran in the room or a dog ran by, people would be like losing it. And now it's hilarious. Like, you'll be on calls now and kids will come up and they'll start hugging their mom or their dad, and somebody will run by and we all just, laugh. So I think if you look at this, you just say from a situational leadership perspective, a high support role that we have both internally and externally, and a lot of one-on-one calls and even a happy hour or two with all of our team on it. And it's amazing how much fun that is. You feel like you're with them and trying to get people through it. So it's a trying time for everybody in a variety of ways. And
I know that as an HR business, people still need your help, but are you finding that there are some challenges with just the financial side, with revenue flowing in? And if so, how are you dealing with these challenges?
One of the things that we've done that was a key was we created a product that was a temporary product, which at about half the price what our normal product would be for a limited period of time, let's say 4 months, 6 months, where we are still bringing on clients. We waived our setup fees and we lowered our price in some cases up to 50% to allow these clients to come on board, be able to utilize our expertise, help them through this process without them worrying about, significant charges. And that seemed to be something that's resonated with people. The comment that we get back, Lisa, is they believe that we're in a partnership with them. So we thought a lot about that, and we thought it was important. And we do believe that it'll build clients for life for us by being there with them during this period of time.
It's interesting to think about how human memory works. So, we build relationships. We want those relationships to be mutually beneficial and memorable. One of the ways the human memory works is through emotion, especially fear. And it just so happens that, we're in a moment where a lot of people feel fear. But when you can truly help them and serve them in a moment of fear, because of the way memory works, right? Memory is tied to emotion. Those relationships really, really last when built in times like this.
Yeah, I concur. I think it is building a client for life. And, I think all of our people feel very good about it. The biggest response is we were, new business coming in was at X, and I would probably say it's double what X was just a short period of time ago. We're not nearly making the profit on that business that we were,
right.
But the profit will come, I believe, and we'll get things back to normal from their business perspective and ours.
I want to ask you a question about leadership, especially in a moment like this. I think it's a great chance for leaders to, as you say, be calm, reflect. And I was reflecting on the way that I've led in the past and thinking about some of the qualities that are most important for me that have shaped my strategic decision making. And so as an example, I'm a creative person. So I see opportunities other people don't see, but that can also make me sort of susceptible to shiny object syndrome. I can be trying too many things at once. And so I'm curious, if you were to reflect, Lonny, can you think about a personal quality of yours, either for good or for ill, that you feel has really shaped your strategic decision making?
I think, honestly, I believe in relationships. So that's always the way that I've, as I moved up in other companies, and, I had a core group of people that kind of moved up with me. So I always believed in relationships and that trust value. And to me, I probably rely on those. And for the most part, it works out very, very good. Sometimes new blood and new people in that equation are more helpful. It stretches people. It gets them out of their comfort zone.
That's beautiful. I also believe in relationships. I think we have that in common. So what are some of your, as we continue to move through this challenging period, but also beyond, what are some of your, next broader goals for PuzzleHR for your business?
It's interesting. We've changed so much in a very short period of time, and I'm not even referencing what all of us are dealing now with the COVID-19. So much has changed. What we thought we were, and who we thought we were, and how we go to market, and the word keeps coming up time and time again from all of my people, my managers. Chris and I talk about it as being nimble, and to me, I think we're going to continue to be very nimble. Take advantage of opportunities that are out there from our skill sets and knowing, what people need and what our people are good at and what they're not good at. And I think we've been pretty nimble, and I think we would continue to be nimble to grow our business. I think when you're a newer company and you're fast growing, if you're somewhat static or focused, that this is what you're going to be come hell or high water, and are stuck to that, I don't think that is probably the best way to do things. And I think being open and having a little bit of a blank canvas, if you will, that you can continue to build up what you want to be and what reality is, and to morph into what you think you can be. So I know we're going to be big. I know we're going to be successful. I know we're going to make our investors very happy. We'll probably continue to grow, and we'll probably continue to change at 10, 15, 20% a year. And what we are in 3 or 4 years might be a little bit different than what we started out at a year ago.
And it can be hard to guess, right, about exactly how those changes are going to unfold. But from where you sit now, I'm curious, if you were to speculate a little bit, you want to grow 10, 20, 50%, what else will change about PuzzleHR?
I would probably say, the people that we're looking at, some of the key components, the people, the communication, the relations, all those things will probably be pretty static. We don't want those to change. And then I think it's a blank slate for a lot of other things. We've had clients contact us, large clients that have said, can you play this specific role for our organization? And our HR department. So usually we're picking up businesses with maybe only an HR person or two or a small department. But this particular company asked us if we could take on a larger role, but really a thin kind of swim lane to help them. And we're able to do that because we try to be nimble. I would just tell you that I think we're open to what will change. We don't know what it is, but when it comes, we'll know it and be able to diversify properly.
Are there any social media handles that you want our watchers to know so they can follow you?
Well, PuzzleHR.com is our primary website, and we have updates all the time on the coronavirus, how it affects the business. We have Q&A on there, so if they want to go into frequently asked questions, our web series, we actually answer questions for business owners on them, so they're pretty helpful. But I would probably tell them to go to that, and you can find us on LinkedIn and Instagram and a few other places. But we're out there, we're working hard, and my guys are I think pushing a lot of content themselves. So.
And anything else, just in closing, Lonny, you'd want to say that we haven't had a chance to cover? Anything else that you think could be relevant for CEOs and entrepreneurs at the moment?
Anybody that's gone through any trauma or life experiences, whether it's as a kid or a young adult, those things kind of set with you forever. But and you kind of learn from those. But I would simply say, look beyond what you're in the middle of. To me, that is always the case. And know that you don't know what things are going to be like in a very short period of time. So you try not to look too far down the road and make too many big decisions. They used to say, as I was growing up, or maybe as early manager, you can't swim in quicksand unless you swim really slow. And this is kind of like quicksand, and maybe that's a good recommendation. Take a really slow stroke and don't panic, because if you panic, you'll sink.
That's beautiful. Actually, internally, we've been really living the motto to slow down. And when you slow down, you inevitably speed up a little bit.
That's right. That's right. And everybody talks about all the things that this has caused. But if you'd have told me, I'm 58, if you told me at 58 I'd be stuck in a house with my two daughters, my animals, my wife, and talk to my family every day, you look at it and go, there is a silver lining in the middle of all this, horrific stuff that's going on. And that's something I think we can all cherish. We'll look back at and tell people, do you remember when? And there is a little bit of a silver lining, and, we pray for all the people that are going through what they're going through. But to me, that is something that we'll never forget. Being stuck together isn't so bad.
Thank you so much, Lonny, for joining us for this conversation. It was beautiful to learn from you, and I think our audience will get a lot from this. And we appreciate your time very much.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. Appreciate you.